Something awful and scary happened to me last year. It's a story that takes a while to tell, but it's real, and it still makes me feel a little queasy. Let me know what you think. I live in rural northern Nevada. There's gold in them thar hills. But no, really, it sucks. Anyway, the night it happened, I'm hanging out with 3 friends, just drinking at my house. We decide to call up some more friends and have a little desert party. So we head out into the middle of nowhere on a dirt road so we can shoot targets and stuff and listen to obnoxiously loud music. It's 30 miles of driving to get there through completely stark, barren desert. The road ends at no significant location. A bunch of other guys and girls meet us there, and we set up tables and chairs and get the bumpinest car stereo going. Soon enough, everyone's drinking, firing guns into the hills, having a hell of a time. After a while, some half-dozen weed-smoking members of our cohort, myself included, step away to smoke a blunt. It's decided that we need to go to the top of the tallest nearby hill to acquire the best smoking spot. We get to the top, and the hill overlooks a valley. On the side opposite us, maybe half a mile in the distance, is some old structure. It looks like a farmhouse. "It's exploring time, son," someone declares. And so, with the early evening light still out, we gather the rest of our entourage and head on down, thinking this is going to be so awesome. As we get closer to the farmhouse, it becomes clear that it is really, really spooky. The girls are all too scared to enter, and so us guys clear the front door and check it out. From the looks of it, it's a 1940s era, 2-story, very fancy farmhouse. Everything is thrown all over the place. It is absolutely covered in rat shit and decades of undisturbed dust. However, what is disturbing is that everything is still there. Pillows, blankets, chandeliers, books, furniture, pictures, paintings, even an old film reel projector and screen. There's wardrobes full of World War II era clothing. There's an old school mint green refrigerator with the door open, full of ancient, desiccated food. There's even antique cars sitting out front with all their parts intact, just rusting into the ground. These people were obviously very wealthy, but in 70 years, the property has been pillaged, yet none of this stuff was stolen? Or sold at auction? Destroyed? Retrieved by friends or relatives? No, I think. No, this is not right at all. How did this happen? I started to get creeped out. I don't know the significance of the farmhouse with respect to what happens next. The thing is, I just felt like the farmhouse was a very bad place for reasons I don't really understand. I mean, nothing bad happened there, it was just a little odd. But what happened that night started with the farmhouse. I went from drinking beers and having a good time to freaking the hell out. The sun was starting to go down, so we needed to get back to party camp. It's BBQ time, so we're whipping burgers and steaks on the grill, and oh my god, it's delicious. Then my friend Dan comes up to me. Dan's kind of a funny fat guy. He's lived down the street from me our whole lives. We've essentially known each other since elementary school. He tells me, quietly, that he wants to go home. I try to get him to tell me what's up, but he doesn't give me a straight answer. I'm sure he was spooked by the farmhouse like I was, but I'm having a good time, so I don't really give a shit. We brought lots of cut wood, so another friend, I'll call him bro number 2, he and I get a bonfire going. The light of the bonfire illuminates someone walking towards us in the desert. They aren't even walking along the direction of the road. Everyone freaks out, turning off the music, scrambling, thinking it's an axe murderer or even worse, a cop. But it's just this dude in a hoodie, walking in the middle of the pitch black desert. Somewhat drunk and confused in light of our strange circumstances, we're relieved that it's just some relatively friendly guy about our age, maybe no older than 20. We tell him he scared the shit out of us and ask what he's doing here. Hiking, he says. Hiking. You know how creepy that is? Someone says, referencing the fact that he was walking around randomly in the deserted plains, in the dark, by himself. Yeah, he's the creepster, says another. We make several jokes calling him the creepster, but he seems like a quiet, good-natured fellow and laughs with us. We ask him to hang out with us, and I get him a beer. He has a sort of strange mannerism, like a drug burnout, and a scar on his mouth like a cleft palate. I am so stupid. The whole time, the hoodie guy keeps acting a strange way, like he's waiting at the DMV or sitting in a dentist's office or something. I don't know how else to describe it. I remember thinking he's probably just awkward. But it starts to sink in for me maybe 20 minutes later that something incredibly wrong is going on. I start to panic and pack my bags. It's past midnight anyway, and some people have already left. I tell bro number 2 that we're about to oust this place and we should hit a blunt before we hit the road. I tell him to get Dan because he's always down to smoke. Dan is completely missing. Where the hell is Dan? We ask everyone. We ask where they last saw him. We walk around the area with flashlights thinking maybe he had to call his mom or he was taking a piss out in the desert. We blow up his phone with calls and texts. No response. Bro number 2 and I drive around honking with the brights on trying to locate him. We will look for 45 minutes. Dan is gone. We hope, we pray that Dan was serious about going home and he just got a ride with one of the guys who left earlier. Now we really need to leave. Right now. I figure we can drop by his house to see if he's there. For some reason, everyone assumes that we'll take care of Hoodie Guy. They get in their cars and say goodbye. I'm the driver and I would feel like an asshole leaving Hoodie Guy out in the desert. How would he get home? How did he get out here? I offer to give him a ride. I am actually sweating on the trip home. Bro number 2 in the passenger seat asks him where he lives. Calle de la Plata, he says. My stomach drops instantly. That is the street where both Dan and I live, with bro number 2 a short distance away. We say nothing. There is no, oh wow, we live there too, or oh, how long have you lived there? The rest of the ride is silence. We bring him to the major intersection, just a block away from where Dan lives. We drop him off there and he thanks us. We go to Dan's house. His mom's there, but not Dan. Not wanting to trouble her, we don't tell her anything or call the cops. He must have gone off to party with some other troop. I called Dan in the morning. I think it was one of the most emotional conversations I've ever had in my life. I was literally in tears. I don't know why. It wasn't sadness. Dan's story is as follows. He watched us leave the party camp last night. He said goodbye to us. He says that we left abruptly with the hoodie guy. Dan, I say, where were you last night? You were gone for at least 2 hours. We spent almost one of those 2 hours looking in the desert for your ass. I was there the whole time, he insists. No, you weren't. You weren't. Did you go take a shit somewhere for 2 hours? I was there the whole time. Completely without words. I spent a lot of time just sitting in a chair thinking over what happened. Then I get a call from bro number 2, who has a much worse story. We go over to see Brent, one of the guys who was at the party camp. He'd invited the girls, and they were still with him. They say we never looked for Dan. They say that Dan was never missing. He was there with us the whole time, and we left before he did. They say that we arrived with the hoodie guy, that he was with us in our car when we got there. I try to calm down and explain to them that that is impossible. We arrived with Dan. Why did you call him the creepster then? I asked one girl. I don't know, she shrugged. He was just really quiet and had that weird scar. No, you saw him walk out of a desert. He walked out of the pitch black darkness. You were fucking there. Bro 2 and I are yelling at the top of our lungs. They don't seem to understand what we're so upset about. They keep telling us to calm down. They don't remember how strange it was that he was in the middle of a desert. He came with you. Dan doesn't ever really hang out with us anymore. He was always a fun guy to be around. His mom says he's going through some personal struggles, but since March, he doesn't really even talk to me or bro number 2. Sometimes I wonder if my friends have some sort of amnesia or collective blocked memory. Sometimes I wonder what happened to Dan when he was gone for 2 hours. Sometimes I wonder if the hoodie guy was even a human being.